Tired of being pushed around by the big phone and cable companies? Well, push back. But now with comwave.
The comwave bundle, you get your home phone and unlimited internet for only $49.95 a month.
Oh, and there's a $100 non-refundable deposit on the phone. So if you want to hear the crap I've had to put up with, sit back and relax. It'll take a couple of minutes. On or about the 7th of November, ordered services. They've asked me for a voided check to be emailed to them. Not a problem. Did that first thing the next morning. Never heard anything back. I thought everything was fine. Checked the bank a week later. Nothing had happened. I called. An hour and a half on hold for CSR. Had to go to a supervisor. Another 40 minutes waiting for a supervisor. He goes to billing, comes back to me and said, the check is in the company name and your account is in your name. They will not accept the check. So please forward a scan of your driver's license to prove that you're you. And I said, what's that got to do with the company check? He said, I don't know. That's what billing wanted. I said, fine. I scanned the driver's license, sent it to him. 4 or 5 days later, hear nothing, email or phone, nothing. So I called again, another hour and a half waiting for CSR, then waiting for a supervisor. Goes to billing, and they said, well, that's not sufficient enough. What we're going to need is a letter from him indicating that he is the sole owner of that company. Okay, not a problem. Did up the letter, scanned, emailed, no word back again. A few days later, call back. You know the time frames. Finally get to supervisor to billing. Come back and said, well, no, the letter needs to be on letterhead. Well, excuse me, folks, people haven't used letterhead in years. Problem is, we have this thing now called emails. We've actually had them quite a while. That's what people use. People don't mail letters anymore, you idiots. Anyways, that's fine. I'm in the business of printing and publishing. So I just put together my own letterhead, did up the letter again, scanned, sent it off to them, and of course, a few days later, no response, no email, no contact, no phone calls, no nothing. The check had not been processed. I got no information about equipment being sent out, nothing. So, call back. You know the time frames. Wait. Anyways, this supervisor gets on, goes through all the notes, goes through the whole works, talks to billing, comes back and says, well, I got good news, sir. They're processing your check tonight. Your equipment will be sent out tomorrow. They're going to schedule the install right away. You'll be notified within 24 hours of a specific date, and everything's good to go. I went, okay, fine. 4 or 5 days later, check hasn't been processed. I've had no communication. I don't have any information of a piece of equipment being shipped out, no tracking number, no nothing. So that was an out-and-out, bald-faced, friggin' lie. On and on. Anyways, the wife's, of course, screaming at me, saying, will you dump these idiots? Go to somebody else. He says, no, it's gone too far for that now. I'm not going to let them off the hook. Call back again. I get this supervisor, I think it's the 7th supervisor now I've talked to. And he says to me, well, is there any way we can just do this on a credit card? We could have done that nearly 4 weeks ago. Anyways, okay, here's the deal. This is no different than an online purchase. I make many online purchases, and in doing so, I use a prepaid credit card simply because I don't trust anybody. So when I need to make a purchase for, say, $300, I put $301 on the card, make the purchase, it's done. So I'm going to throw your money on the card first thing tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. 9:05, your little billing department can swipe it. But that is a one-time use only action for you people. I've already set you up as a payee with my bank. You send me an email invoice. I look at it. If I'm happy with it, I go online and I pay it. Understand? He said, not a problem, sir. I've made notes. I've got you set up as online payments. It's not an issue. I said, fine. Done deal. End of discussion. However, about 3 hours later, 9 p.m., my first email ever from comwave states, my credit card has been declined. Oh, my God, dealing with absolute total fools. Anyways, I just laughed, shook my head, said, what are you going to do, right? 9 o'clock next morning, I did my thing, put the money on the card. I think it was a little bit later that morning, they tried to swipe it again. Of course, it went through. I already put the money on the card. Followed up 3 or 4 days later because I still hadn't got any communique. And they said the equipment had been shipped. They gave me a scheduled install date of like 2 weeks ahead. So now I'm going to be 6.5 weeks before getting internet after ordering it. I think there's a little problem with this picture. Not sure about you folks. I think there's a serious problem. Anyways, lo and behold though, I got the internet up and running, rock and roll. Now we're going. That was, I think, a Thursday, and 3 weeks that Saturday, get up, grab my coffee, come into the office, 7:15 in the morning. I got no internet. It's done. It's gone. Grab my phone, go online, search and search and search for a phone number for tech support. Well, apparently they don't come in until 10 o'clock on a Saturday. That's not called support to me. But anyways, it is what it is. So, get a hold of them. They actually answered about 10 after 10, which wasn't too bad. Took them about, 45, 50 minutes to get me up and running again. Okay, fine, rock and roll, carry on. Next morning at about 9:04 a.m., I get my first invoice. Well, okay, we're just a little over 3 weeks in. It's supposed to be a prorated bill. So I'm thinking, $36 to $40? $117. And I'm wondering, okay, where's this coming from? I was going to call them, but unfortunately, nobody works Sundays. So, okay, I'll put this aside for tomorrow. Anyways, you want to hear the real kicker? 54 minutes later, I get an email from them, the very first one I've ever gotten, that says my credit card has been declined. Okay, I'm about ready to go through the roof now. Thought I told you bastards that you weren't allowed to use that again. Anyways, they tried it again later on in the afternoon. Monday, I called. 40 minutes in on hold, and I just couldn't wait any longer. It was a busy day, so I took off again. Tuesday, I called, wait. Finally got some ignorant, oh, God, just an obnoxious CSR who thinks he's King Tut and got belligerent with me because I was upset too damn bad. Anyways, he said, if you don't become more professional, I am going to terminate this call. Well, I paused for about 8 or 10 seconds, took a deep breath, and thought, okay, I'll give this guy his little demand. Calm down a bit. And after a few minutes, he said, all right, I understand your situation. Let me go to billing. Let me see if I can get this straightened out, and I'll get back to you. Give me a couple of minutes. Couple of minutes. Let me say that again. A couple of minutes. Remember that. 51 minutes later, I had had enough and hung up. He never come back. Guess what? The next day, they cut off my services. And 2 days later, I get an email with a little window that says, after multiple attempts to contact you, never ever once. Never ever once. Alright, so let's move ahead to about, first part of March. I get a little notice, an email, unbelievably. I think that's now what, the third in 6, 7 months, even though they say they desperately try and contact you every 3 days. Anyways, it's requesting their modem back, telling me to ship it right away. That's fine, I don't have a problem with that. Send them an email back, said send me the shipping label, I'll get it off to you. They sent me an email back refusing. They said we don't pay for return shipments as per our terms of service. You are required to pay it, and we want it shipped immediately. So I emailed them back and I said, you want it, come and get it. Otherwise, it doesn't go anywhere. Or send me a shipping label. Well, I don't know what happened internally, but a week later, I got a shipping label. So no problem. I got out the bubble wrap in a little box and wrapped the thing up nice and tight and put the bubble wrap around it, put it off to FedEx. And that was about 4 weeks ago. And the other day, I got in, one might call a final statement. They call it a collection notice, actually. Got it here right in front of me, starting off with a $200 early cancellation fee. Other charges, new charges of $227, whatever that is. Anyways, current outstanding balance, $413.48. No mention of the original $100 gave them. So anyways, so what they're looking at is $413 for 3 weeks of service. Or lack thereof, actually, because I was down for part of that. Anyways, keeps going on and on, people. So obviously we've replaced these services, and unbelievably, locally, like right from inside this town, contacted them. I thought they were still working off of old towers. No, they're tapping into the major services that these other characters are. So jumped right on it. Drove down to their office here in town in, I don't know, 4 minutes. Told them right off the bat, I'm going to give you the company check because part of this is a write-off, business write-off. Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. And used the debit card, bought the modem as I stood. They booked me for service, set up the account, rock and roll. I was up and running in a few days. And that was a few months ago now, and haven't had an issue since. Nice and local. I've had a couple of questions when I first got my first billing, which was accurate, by the way, but I was just wondering about the MAG debit. Contacted them. Second ring, a person answered the phone, and within 45 seconds answered my question, and it was done. So, yeah, there's other options here, folks. So obviously my recommendation is don't even attempt to contact these people. If you're with them now, I'd be shocked if you're happy as hell. So just simply terminate them. And there's a lot of different internet suppliers out there now. Shop, look, talk. Actually do it even a little bit deeper than I did because I missed these guys right off the bat. Like I said, I thought they were still on tower. Multiple options, and nobody can be worse than these characters. So grab somebody else and have yourself a good day.